Hey, Dragon Metals here. Today I'll be making a hexagon ring star pendant that's made of jump rings. So, jump ring jewellery. There it is. Multiple metals used there. Got copper and silver plated steel. As you can see, it makes a sort of beehive hexagon shape. Very pretty and quite easy to make. Components that we'll be using. Only need a pair of needle nose pliers for this, nothing major. Got 14 1cm copper split rings, thick gauge here. You can use a smaller gauge, but you'll have to use an even smaller gauge of silver split ring. Quite easy to make these, even though they look sort of complex, they're actually not that bad. So lots of opening jump rings though. And connecting other jump rings to those jump rings, which can be sort of tricky. You'll get the hang of it. So make a line of 3 first off, and double up with each split ring. That'll make the core of the pendant. And then we'll surround the middle one by ever increasing amounts of rings until it's built up to the hexagon shape. They actually make quite heavy pendants, these weigh quite a bit. Got my jewellery cabinet right now, obviously. Not too much sunlight, and it is the end of the day. But it's very shiny work, so people tend to like these sort of pendants. I've found got good opinions from them anyway. For them. More pendant videos coming soon. Keep an eye out. Be a completely different type of pendant compared to this. You can use a jump ring opening tool for this, but I don't always use one. It just adds an extra tool to the process, generally. But sometimes it is necessary if you come across a screwed up jump ring from these factory made ones, which can be not that good. They can come in various qualities. These ones that are cost usually about a tenner for a small box of about this big usually come in a good quality. Not many defective jump rings. Whereas if you pay like about half that amount, get what you paid for, as the saying goes. That being, you get mediocre quality jump rings. It's always better to spend a little bit extra, but not too much. So building up the rings now, got 3 upon there. We need a few more, and then we have to connect them all in a round in a big circle. You'll see. It's not too complex. Couple jumped off there. While I was doing the jump ring, that can happen. Just want to straighten up this jump ring here. Make it a little bit more neat. Neatness is good, especially when making pendants like this. It can be worth about £5 to £7 each, something like that. There's a little bit of thought and effort involved, and they do take a little bit of a while, and material use. Also, they're quite heavy. There's a nice weight to these. They can be made ever smaller with smaller rings, less weight also, a variety of materials. Probably make these even out of tin or gold, silver, many different materials. I'd like to make one out of gold sometime. That will require bigger tools. In order to make lots and lots of gold wire. Which I'll probably do someday. That's coming along, as you can see there, only one section left. Extremely supremely shiny stuff, as you can no doubt see. Almost golden in appearance, this copper. This is the high grade main stuff. It's quite heavy, quite high purity, not very bendy, quite difficult to work due to its high purity. This is the high amp stuff that you would be expecting within your walls, connecting the plugs of your house. So it's a strong sort of cable and not cheap. It's that stuff that can handle up to, I think it's 20-30 amps at hundreds of volts, so an impressive amount. Okay, that's the first layers done. That'll form a hexagon now. Now all these rings need to be connected in a circle. Exactly the same as that one. You need 14 of the big split rings, and I think it's 24 of these ones. Small enough to connect them, but not too small, otherwise you'll have difficulty even connecting them in the first place. Say these are... what size are they? They would be... I think it's 6mm split rings, jump rings. Split rings, jump rings, but same sort of function really. Very, very similar. That one's sort of stuck. I got it. There you go. Making it a bit more neat as I'm going round. Again, double up. You can even put triple if you like, or if you haven't enough jump rings, single all the way round. Although the appearance wouldn't be as nice as if you used multiple rings, and it also wouldn't be as structurally robust. You don't want it to fall into pieces when someone's wearing it, after all. Now I need to do that all the way around. So these pendants do take a little bit of time to make, as I've mentioned. And these rings were made by Mandrel. The copper rings, that is. The rest were factory produced. Mainly because I just haven't got the tools to make my own tiny jump rings. So I need a large tool in order to squish stainless steel into very thin wire like this. And then I'd need to plate it all in silver. While I've plated things before, the rest would require a large tool, large heavy tool that I can't have due to lack of storage space. Till I sell enough jewellery, that is. And bullion also, so I sell occasionally. Bullion is metals, precious metals. Well, most metals are precious, but you know, pure metals, I should say. Great many are useful in health or makeup, even chemical experiments, such as electroplating or electrolysis in order to grow things like tin crystals, which I've heard can be quite difficult. One of the reasons I haven't tried it. It's very, very fine voltage needed. I've seen some neat tin crystals in existence though. Might try it one day using probably solar power. Not too many jump rings left on this hexagon ring star pendant. Or beehive pendant, I guess. It's the shape of a star, it's also the shape of a beehive and a hexagon. So pretty wide use. Can also be connected by any one of these corners. So wide variety of connection points. Several. More in fact. So great for working into other pieces of jewellery, necklaces, pair of earrings, although it'd be pretty heavy, large, hoopy earrings, especially with pendant that size, and as I said, they're quite heavy. Well, you know, someone might like a heavy pair of complex looking earrings made out of sustainable copper, or a necklace with some of these upon. Yeah, very pretty after all. Last few rings and then an attachment mechanism, so it dangles more freely. Pays to try and get the angle right, otherwise you'll just bend the jump ring. And then you'll have to get another one. So unless you want to lose a jump ring or just completely scratch up the copper, try and get your angle right. Like I am. In order to close up the jump rings more effectively, not messing them up. Last one there, and then I'll attach a mechanism to suspend it from, which will need 3 different jump rings for 3 different sizes, all bigger. There'll be a few 9 and 10mm ones, so centimetre sort of size, similar to these ones, but much thinner, made of that stuff. So a couple of them, and a big one. Quite simple, couple on each length. You can attach them pretty much anywhere as long as they're next to each other. And then this big one is going to go through both of them. All done. Some of these may need reorientating a little bit. There we go. What's happened with the refirming? Now, one of the rings there, you can see that, is out of place. I need to reposition that. The inner one. Must have happened during the build, because it's on the inside, not the outside. Not an issue to correct. Do want it correct, after all. But, you know, mistakes do happen. There's proof. But they can also be repaired. There's also proof. All done. You can see they're all nicely aligned now. And there's the pendant, which is quite heavy and dangles quite nicely. It also closes up in a strange sort of way. Both directions, due to the way they're all orientated. Nice sort of beehive pendant though. Hexagonal ring jewelry. Well, that was how to make a hexagon shaped ring pendant. Till next time.